Hi.
Hello.
Wait, this is the Scratch and Scratch Junior, right?
Yes.
Should we wait a few minutes? Let's wait a few minutes, wait for people to come in. Okay. Let's give them until like 2:08? 2:08? Okay, I think we could just start now. If someone comes in, then I'll just catch them up later. So just to make sure all of you guys are here for Scratch Junior. Yes, no?
Yes.
Okay. So let's just start with the basics. So why IGO Learning? So it's like a nonprofit advocating teens, teaching kids. Yeah. And it's typically like high school students, college students, and it's like teaching like younger children how to code. So why you want this? One, you can make money. Two, volunteer hours. And everything's already prepared for you. So like the curriculum is already prepared. Oh, someone else joined. Curriculum's already prepared, and class management, including the Zoom. Someone will send you a Zoom link, and payment handling. So some key aspects of IGO Learning is that it has all the training courses, all the content, and it also has a Scratch platform. This is because normal Scratch can't keep up with the like Scratch projects. So IGO Learning just created their own Scratch editor. So when teaching Scratch, we want to encourage you to use the one that's already linked with ThinkLend. It's like, don't use the Scratch website, use the one on the on ThinkLend. And you have direct communication with parents in case a student's like misbehaving or like just refuses to listen to you, because Scratch younger kids, you have to be really patient with them. They don't always follow what you like say the first time. You might have to bring in parents one or two times in case the child like just leaves the Zoom and does not come back. You might want to talk with their parent about that, maybe tell them some issues that you're having, and hopefully they will talk to them about it. But that generally goes for the younger kids. I think older kids, it should be okay. So I don't know if you guys already joined the Discord server. Can I get like a thumbs up, thumbs down? All of you guys joined the Discord server? Okay. That's really important because a lot of key information is on there, and like you get updates, and that's where you'll probably do your evaluation. I think evaluation now is just a video. I know in the past it was like a like mini class, but now it's just like a video, same like formatting though. So you will go through the path to like teach starts with training. On ThinkLand, they will provide you with the what do you call it, evaluation course. Like when you click onto your classroom, there will be a course that you follow for the evaluation, and then comes the actual evaluation part, where I think you record a video now. And from there, you can either choose to be a teacher assistant or a teacher. And then you can become an evaluator after you taught a few classes. Oh, I should probably mention, if you're a teacher assistant, you do not get paid. That is just volunteer hours. You only get paid as a teacher. And evaluator / trainer, you don't get paid for that. It's just like, I don't think you get hours either. But it's just like teaching teachers how to teach. That makes sense. So these are the different courses that is provided by iGo Learning. So what you guys are listening to right now is just Scratch Junior and Scratch. Scratch Game Design, Scratch AI is a little more advanced. For there's like older kids. These are like 6, 7-year-olds, 6, 7, 8. And the over here is probably like 9, 10, and then like 11, 12. So as the list goes on, the age group gets shifted upwards. And the highlighted courses over here, they're like special courses where iGo Learnings try to keep the teachers in a small group because it's a lot more difficult. And they want like qualified teachers for these classes. So if you want to teach those classes, you will probably have to go through a more rigorous evaluation and whatnot. And teaching materials can be found step 3 of the Start Here page of your ThinkLand profile. Yeah, and each course has their own training classroom. Each one has their own like evaluation courses. So if you want to teach multiple classes, you will have to go through multiple evaluations. And then, oh yeah, here are the courses and their ages. And there's different levels in ThinkLand. So level 1 is the easiest. Each course has levels. Level 1 is the easiest. And then the full course, like core classes, typically have 4 levels. So we have like children's AI programming, Scratch. That one has 4 levels because it's one of iGo Learning's core classes. The other ones are more like mini classes, if you will. So what I'm specifically talking about in this meeting are the first 2. And the other ones are left for someone else to talk about. Okay, so evaluations are found in step 4 of the Start Here page of your ThinkLand profile. And as I mentioned before, an evaluation is just like a mini class. So you're teaching, just pretend you're teaching a class already. Pretend you're like on Zoom talking to students, but there's going to be no students there. Because if students on your first time teaching is kind of nerve-wracking, no? So I think they changed it to video. I'm not really sure, honestly. I know before it was you had to like join a Discord call or like join a Zoom, and then there would be an evaluator there, and they would just kind of like listen in silence while you teach. It was kind of awkward, so maybe the recording is better now. But yeah, each class is typically like an hour long, I'd like to say. But for your evaluation, I think like 30, 40 minutes is like good enough, because normally in a class there will be a lot of like extra time, like when the children's like screaming or asking you for help, like they're little kids, they're gonna need um a lot more like participation from the teacher, since they'll obviously be asking more questions, they're not really sure what they're doing. Yeah. Oh, and it's like it's scored from a 1 to 3, and 1 is being the best. So after you completed your evaluation, you can start teaching. Now the deadline is typically 1 month after you sign up to be a teacher. So try not to wait too long for the evaluation. And if you have any teaching experience, try to submit a video of you teaching, because it will speed up the process of evaluation. Have you guys already evaluated, or like, no? Okay. Yeah, but you can apply to be a teacher's assistant before you're evaluated. Now, payday, what everyone came here for. So payday is the 19th of every month. Yeah, there is a set time where you get paid. I wasn't sure of this when I first started, so I was really confused. And payment will only be sent out when the legal forms are submitted. So if they're not submitted by the 19th, don't worry, you'll still get paid. It'll just be delayed though. And then here is the hourly rate based on class size. I'd say most Scratch classes, unless it's like from another organization, if it's just like private classes that iGo Learning like created, then I'd say it's about like 3 or 4, maybe like around mid-range, like 3 to 6 kids, somewhere around there. Like some classes might have like 8, but the only class that I taught that had 8 kids was where it was like another organization was like funding it. It was like, and yeah. Oh, there might be times where you're the teacher of a Scratch class, but the students will be like in a classroom with a teacher assistant helping you out. So not all the students might be online. It might just be like one other person with a class of kids. So that can also happen. I think it happens more often than not.
Can I ask a question? Yeah. So what hours are you paid for? Is it just the hours that you are on Zoom call teaching, or hours preparing for the course, grading, writing evaluations of the course?
It is just how long you're on Zoom.
Okay.
Yeah, every other time outside of Zoom is your own time. Yeah. It shouldn't take that long. I will talk about reports later, so don't worry about that. But yeah, payment is just your teaching time, strictly just teaching time. Okay. And then some teaching requirements. So you can check this out on step 6 of the checklist rule in the iGo Learning page. So what iGo Learning is expecting from every class is a attendance and class report, or like student report. So you have to make a report for every single student. I would say that takes about like 10 to 20 minutes, depending on how large the class is. Honestly, I will show you examples later. I feel like that example is very, very specific. I think you can like lay back a bit. You don't have to like write paragraphs, but maybe like a few sentences explaining the class, how the student was in that class is all you need. Teachers can receive volunteer hours or a pay. There is a mix. Like I have taught 3 classes. I've only taught 3 classes for iGo Learning. And 2 of the classes I got paid. And the 3rd class I took on for volunteer hours. So even if you are a teacher, that doesn't mean you'll always get paid. Like, but they will tell you beforehand if you're getting paid or not, and you can take on that job if you choose to. And then teacher assistants, there is no pay at all. It's just volunteer hours. One key step is that show that you care. Even if you don't, just pretend you care about the students. And class change, you can change classes. iGo Learning understands that you guys are busy, you guys have your own lives. So just like let us know beforehand if you want to change your class. It's like temporary change just for 1 week. So there is a form over here. I can send it in chat. And just like keep this on hand. You'll probably need to change your classes at least once. Just saying. So that's temporary class change. Just it's for one class. It's not for every single class after that, just that 1 week. And then for each training, not training, for each course, there will be a pacing guide, course curriculum, the curriculum that you should follow. I think they will give you like a time frame for each section of of each class. So they'll probably give you like, oh, spend 30 minutes doing the project, or like spend 10 minutes previewing project, 20 minutes explaining project, and like 20 minutes letting them do their thing, and last 10 minutes review in the class, ask the students how they thought about it, blah, blah, blah. So they will give you timeframes. Just try your best to follow the pacing guide. I learned that it's easier to go ahead of the pacing guide. I normally finish early so that I move on to the next lesson, but try to slow it down. But if you do, it's very understandable if you go a little fast. So iGo Learning does provide you with like additional classes in case you finish the curriculum way too fast. So like, let's say like there's Scratch, you finish the Scratch curriculum. So that's what you were paid to do. And then there's like, let's say like there's 2 more classes left in the time that the parents paid for. So in the last 2 classes, there's something called like Scratch Plus, where they provide you with extra classes just in case you finish the curriculum already. I find that really helpful. And then logistics, teaching logistics. So make sure you use the host ID that they provide you. I made this mistake the first time I taught. I used my own room instead of the one that ThinkLin provided. Little mishaps, that's okay, they understand. But yeah, just make sure you're using the one they provided. And then be in the Zoom like 5 to 10 minutes before class. Like, don't show up late as a teacher. That just ruins your image. So try to be like at least 3 minutes early. That's what you don't have to be too early. You're going to be sitting there doing nothing. So maybe like 3 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes. And make sure you submit attendance at the beginning of the class. I will tell you how many times I missed this. Make sure you remember attendance, or else someone will probably email you forgot to do attendance. So let's try not to get to that point. And then make sure your Zoom classes are recorded, because you will have to submit them to a shared drive after class. So what I suggest doing is creating a Google Drive and sharing it with the parents. And then that's where you put all your class information. Like, I can show you what I have. So these are the classes that I taught, and these are all shared drives with the parents. And inside I have the the slides that I made for each class and recordings of each class. It's important that you keep the recordings in there because Thinkland will want to go back and watch it to see if you're doing your job. So don't forget a recorded class, or else you will probably get an email about that too, asking them where's that class. So yeah, I would just create a Google Drive for that. And then after class, you will have to write a evaluation on each student. A report on each student. And then after your entire session is done, like after the entire like curriculum is finished, once you finish your job, you will have to write an evaluation on each student, telling them how they did throughout the course of the entire curriculum. But reports are just for each class. Evaluation is for like at the end of the entire teaching process. So let's go over some reports. So this is a bad report. It's very broad. Like it's not horrible, but it can be better. They want you to, this is more about like the class itself. They want more of like something like this, like it talks about the class participation, their attention to the class, and let them know if there's any homework. Make sure to include that in the report. And like how well they did in that class, because Thinkland will obviously want the parents to keep coming back, keep taking their courses. And if you're not able to provide a like valid evaluation, then the parents probably will not know what class to put their child in, therefore probably not coming back to Thinkland. So if you're able to give them a class that you think they will do well in the next season session, then that will probably be like good enough. So, oh, sorry, these aren't reports, these are evaluations. So these are the ones that you write at the end of your curriculum. Reports will look more like this. Reports will look more like this. Evaluations should be a little more in depth because you're talking about their knowledge, how well they did, their attention span. So giving a good evaluation will help Thinkland place the children in a either a higher class or a lower class, or retake the class if they have to. And this is like a report. I think this is good enough for a report, honestly. So a report is the one that you hand in after class. Just mention if there's homework, mention how the student did, mention what you guys did in that class. And if there was any issues, try to include it in the report, like issues with the student, I mean, because you'll be sending it to the parents, like emailing it to them. So this is the training timeline. So you start with the application form, you join the Discord server. Wait, I forgot if I asked this already. Are you guys in the Discord server? I think yes, right?
Yes.
Okay. You join the Discord server. This is the optional training session that you guys signed up for. And then join training classroom. And then you have to fill out the working paper form. Have you guys done that already? Okay. That will be on Thinkland. I can send it in the chat if you want me to. It's also like another Google form. And then teacher availability form. Okay, that's after you fill out everything though. So that's, I think that follows up with the working forms. Oh, that's it for my presentation. I'll just give you some insight about the classes. Have you guys dealt with children? Have you guys taught little children before? No? Oh, okay. One of you guys have. um, they're a lot more quiet. Some are really loud, some are really quiet. So it's hard balancing the two when you're teaching. So try to pay more attention to the quiet kids, I'd say. Just try to get them to like join the classroom more. And the loud kids will probably try to talk with the quiet kids, and that will like balance out the classroom. Also, there are kids who will not listen to you and leave the Zoom and like play games on their computer while you try to teach. So what I would do is probably either report it in your reports after class. The parents will probably read their emails, see how their kids are doing, or um, just try to call over the parent during the Zoom if they're like if they keep shutting off their camera and like going places. Um, yeah. Also, some kids will want to do their own projects. They don't want to follow your curriculum. If something like that happens, normally I allow it, but to like an extent. I try to keep them on the same pace as what the kids are doing, but like maybe they'll like change it up a little bit. I'm just like, oh, okay, that's cool, use your creativity. Like I see no problem with that, but just try to keep them on track. mm, Anything else? If you're okay, the ones where the kids are in a classroom and there's a teaching assistant, those are a little harder to keep on track because the teacher assistant will probably do their best, but there's going to be a lot more kids than just like a personalized classroom where every kid has their own Zoom. So if they're in a classroom, you're going to have to like give them more time, if you will, to do their projects, because a teacher assistant can only help so much. But there any other questions? Anything else? Any worries you have? I think I ended this a little too early, but I'm not sure if I covered everything.
How many, so I've never taught before.
Mhm.
I never taught kids before, and doing so online will be a new experience, but I'm feeling really enthusiastic and really confident. Would you recommend that I start with like one Scratch Junior class, or would 2 or 3 be too overwhelming for a beginner teacher?
That's a okay. When I started, I only started with one. Um, I think two should be okay, because if you're teaching two Scratch classes or Scratch Junior classes, they will be following the same curriculum anyways. So if you, I'd probably keep it at two. Three is a little much, but like you're gonna be teaching the same thing over and over. So you're once you teach it once, the second class should be pretty easy because you already went through it. um, Teaching wise, I think just be patient, be very patient, especially with little kids. Um, but yeah, I think it should be okay. Scratch is like uh the children are nice. Some of them are nice, some of them not so much, but I think you can manage.
Do you have any face-to-face interaction with teachers, or is just, I mean, with parents, or is it just via messaging?
Oh, I've never met any of them in real life. It's always either emails, or if the parents with the kids during the Zoom, you can like send them a message through Zoom. But yeah, you don't have to, you probably will never ever meet them in person.
Okay. Oh, I meant more so face, like
Oh,
you know,
like through
on the,
Zoom?
yes.
Um, Honestly, maybe they'll stay for like 5 minutes if like at the beginning of a Zoom, if they're helping the kids set up whatever you're doing for that class. But like aside from that, like you probably won't talk to them. it's always probably going to be through emails. And even through emails, they probably won't talk back to you. You just send them a report and then they read it, and then they probably will not email back.
Does Lakeland have any like parent teacher conferences or
Um,
PTAs?
they don't. Yeah, they don't. Because I think you should send out. So basically, after every class is a parent conference, not really conference, but like after every class, you will have to send out a report, and that report will tell the students, tell the parents how their children did in that class. So you probably will never have to talk to the parents.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions, worries, concerns?
Right now, I'm only assigned to one student with one class. Will I get more later on?
Yes, that is very possible. I remember one of my classes started with like 4 kids, and then it grew to 8. So like more students will come in as time goes. But like that might not happen as well, but it most likely will have more students. I think Thinkland will see like, oh, this class only has 1 kid, so they will like add students to your class, if you will.
Other than adding students to my class, will I have like more hours or more classes I could teach?
You want to if you want to teach more classes, that really is just like I wouldn't say like luck, but like opportunity wise. There's a lot of teachers in Thinkland. So if you want to teach more, I'd probably just like go back and maybe review your teacher availability form, open up more times. But when it comes to like finding a class, I think you will probably just have to wait on that.
Okay.
Is there a administrative structure in Thinkland? Like, is there like an HR department? Do you guys have meetings amongst all the teachers and curriculum designers?
There is an HR, but as a teacher, strictly just a teacher, you probably will not talk to them about like course design or any of that, because they already like pre-plan the courses. You're just gonna follow whatever they planned. If you really want to talk to someone, have you guys met Mike yet?
No.
Okay. I can send he's my quote unquote boss, if you will.
Okay.
He like assigns me classes. I just ask him questions. Just tell him like, oh, I'm a teacher from Thinkland. I have this problem. I can send his Discord. Oh, I can send my own Discord too if you guys need any help. So that's Mike. This is mine. Let me know. I'm always free. But yeah, you probably won't be able to design the course. You can, I mean, you're the teacher though. You can always like tread off a little bit, talk about what you want. But just like in general, just finish the curriculum and you'll be good. If you want to do extra projects of your own, go for it. Like no one's gonna stop you.
So who what you call it? Who assigns the courses in Thinkland?
Oh, okay. I'm still screen sharing, so I will just show you. So this is what like a Python course will look like. So you should see, wait, I can actually just show you the Scratch course. It's called Scratch training, but this is what the curriculum will look like. So just make sure you're in the classroom because you'll just be following everything in here. Are you guys in these classrooms already?
Yes.
Okay, then yeah, this is what the curriculum is. So just follow this. That's about it. I don't think you can change much about this, honestly. Oh, when you get assigned a class, you will like this is the one that I am teaching right now. This is the one for volunteer hours. You will be able to create your own like drive. So if I wanted to add more to this, just turn edit on, and then you should be able to like add more notes, add more sections. And normally parents will be the one to review this. Like you can assign homework if you want. Assign homeworks, add notes, add slides. So that's normally what I would do on a Thinkland classroom. Yeah. Any other questions?
Are we in the middle of a session right now or in between?
Like what this meeting is?
With the Thinkland AI sessions, like a summer session, fall session.
Oh, this would be counted summer session. So if you like join a classroom now, it would be counted as a summer session.
Would it be in the middle of the session or would it be starting from the beginning?
It would be starting if you get assigned to a class, you will have to start from the beginning. It will be from the beginning. You will, don't worry, you won't have to join a class in the middle. Like that's really rare. Oh, Hugo. Yeah.
I'm just confused. What's the next step? It's, I guess, go through the Discord and do the evaluation.
Yeah. Yeah. If you haven't done the evaluation, make sure you do that ASAP.
Do we need a login and or something?
No, I am an evaluator actually. If you want, just send a video to me and I will review it for you guys and put it into like the spreadsheet that they have.
Okay, thank you.
Should we send it to you through Discord or email it to you?
Oh, I think emailing would be better because Discord has like limited storage, right?
Okay.
That you can send. So this is my email. Any other questions? No? Sorry if I was a little broad today. I wasn't really sure what I needed to cover. I got through into this last minute, so.
Thank you.
Everyone good? No more questions? I would feel really bad if I ended it now and people still weren't sure what to do. Yeah. Wait, there was one more thing I wanted to add. Oh yeah, I know I mentioned this before, but do not use the Scratch, like MIT Scratch, whatever website they use. Make sure you use the one on Thinkland, because Thinkland, the curriculum itself has a lot of aspects that Scratch doesn't have. So if you're able to use the Thinkland one, Thinkland provides you with like the right blocks, characters, and whatnot. But I think that's it. So if everyone is okay.
Quick question.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I'm just a little confused about the Scratch Junior editor. Is there a link to it on the Thinkland website?
Oh, Scratch Junior is just your own. I use the downloaded one. It's just Scratch that needs to use the Thinkland one. Scratch Junior, I just used my own, the one that like downloaded from the
one from the GitHub thing.
Yeah. Scratch Junior, I just stay on GitHub. Scratch, make sure you use the Thinkland one.
I had one question.
Oh yeah?
One thing is, the little children sometimes don't know their accounts and all, how to log in first time. Like I have taught kids before. Once they get on the like the wagon, it's easy for them. But how, like sometimes parents are working and they're alone at home and they don't have even idea what is their account information and all. So how do we help them, like what access we have to their devices to log in or anything?
What I would do is if their parents aren't around, first I would try to see, like, I'd ask the kids, like, oh, are your parents around? Can they help you with this? If they say no, then I would probably just ask them to screen share. And then from there, I would like be like, oh, click the thing in the top right, or click like this button in the middle of your screen. Like I would like help them like verbally, because there's not much I can do over a screen unless I like see what their screen is. So I'd ask them to screen share, and then from there I'd just tell them where to click around, what to type.
Yeah, like that sometimes, like, I mean, I have taught children. The problem is during the first lesson, someone just showed up with the iPad. And like, I couldn't go inside his iPad and ask him. And these are little kids. It's not like fair to them that we ask him that they know everything. They need some beginning help. And parents were not available. So it was frustrating for little kids. And then that point, they lose interest because their attention span is very small. If it's not interesting for them, they don't want to do it anymore. And to just make them look at some screen for 1 hour was very tough. So from then on, I always want to know what is at my disposal to make sure they are interested in what they're doing. Otherwise, they run away.
Yeah. No, that's understandable. I'd probably just like, I'd probably like start the lesson and tell the kids to work on something while I help this other kid. I'll probably bring them into a breakout room and let the kids work. I try to keep it below like 5 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes of helping that kid alone, because then the other kids will get bored, right? So I keep it like within 5 minutes if that's possible, while you help that one kid in another room and the other kids are working.
And also I had one more question, like, do the parents have the instructions that the Scratch Junior should be downloaded on their device before they come into the class?
They should, but I had some cases where they didn't know. So I had to help them download it before. But normally first classes, the parents are there to help the kids, because the parents want to know what what the teacher's doing too,
Okay, and the other side of this problem is the older ones, 9 to 10, some figure out that instead of attending the class, let me just watch a video of some other. So how much do you follow through that? Like sometimes it's like you tell them 10 times, but they are like, oh, my Scratch is not working, it is very slow, oh, I don't have internet, and they try all excuses to watch their little film which they're watching. So without being a tattletale, how much do you communicate with parents that your kid is basically not interested?
Okay, I will that happens so many times at the start of laughing.
The older they get very smart in wanting to do what they want.
So I would not tell them straight up, yeah, your kid does not want to be in this class. I'll probably tell them like, oh, they get distracted a lot during the class. At the end of the class, sometimes if I know the kids are not listening, I will purposely be like, oh, can everyone show me what they finished? Like some a class review. Let's see everyone's work. So I will tell them before class, like, oh, at the end of class, we will share our work. So that will normally get them to at least finish some of it, right? Because they don't want to be the only one without something to show.
Like that's a genuine experience. Like I had one class where couple of them were really interested in learning coding, and it was not fair to them. The other kid was just wanted, oh, just give me the code. Just give me the code. I will screenshot and enter it later, but I don't want to learn how it works. So it was not kind of fair to the sincere ones. So if somebody, in spite of insisting, if they're not interested, is it okay to like if there are more than 3-4 kids, if it is a single one, you can dedicate the time for him. But like the ones who are really interested in learning, is it okay to focus on them, and the one who is like, in spite of your trying, if he's not interested, just let the kid do what he wants? Or what is the strategy Thinkland wants?
I would not completely disregard that kid. Because at the end, you will have to give an evaluation. And if he can't move on, he will probably have to stay in that class or like move to a lower class. So I
wanted to know, not give up, like what's the, like, the discipline strategy you guys follow? Like, is there a kind of warning, first warning, second warning, third warning? Because it's very easy for us teachers to know that they are watching a movie and they're not paying attention. So I just sometimes ask the kid, hey, what is that movie? Can you tell me the name? And they get so shocked that, how do you know I'm watching a movie? So, but there should be like some warning or some, do you guys have some way of communication to the teacher? This is the third warning, the kid was watching a movie. Like, because I don't want to disrupt my sincere students who, like, helps as a teacher for me, and also as the other students who want to go as per the lesson plan, if they want to.
Thinkland does not have a system like this. It's entirely based up to the teachers. You have a lot of freedom to do your own type of teaching strategies. But what I would do is I would probably maybe start a little conversation about it, try to relate to the kid, be like, oh, like, you like this type of movie.
Of course, they are little kids. I try all that, but I have found that some of them they think coming to the class is sometimes, it's a movie time, and it's like I try to make it interesting, or I challenge their intelligence. But when there are 6 or 7 kids and 5 of them are very much interested in the lesson, you don't have the luxury of spending more time on that one kid to focus. So that's what I wanted to know. What would you like us as a teachers to do in case we face these situations?
Yeah. So for the 5 kids that are really interested, you don't always have to be on their backs. Like, I would give them some freedom, let their creativity, like assign them a pretty broad project, like give them like a set of rules, but like let them do their own thing. Just make sure they follow those rules. So while they're working on that, I'd probably try to have a little chat with the other kid who isn't so active.
Yes.
Like, when they're working on that, maybe I'll bring them to another room, talk about it, be like, oh, I understand you like this video. I like that video too, but at the end of class, we have to show what we're doing, right? And I don't want you to be the only one without like work to do. So then like, I'd probably keep it within 10 minutes, try to get them started on it. And I show them like what I do and how they can do it too. And then like bring them back to the class. And then if they continue doing that, then I would probably write it in the report, tell them, oh, he has like trouble concentrating on the task at hand. And like maybe it's best to like have a little talk with them. Like, I did this once. There was one kid who would like always turn off his video and play Minecraft. And I just said in his report, like, yeah, he gets off track sometimes. He's a good kid, gets off track. Like, can we have a talk about this with him, about like staying on track, or like at least finishing the project? And the mom, like next time, I overheard her saying like, oh, I love you, like have fun in class, make sure you finish your work this time. And like, he listened, he always finished his work after that. So I think telling the parents is at least like giving them an idea that their child isn't really interested. Like, it's always like the best option if you're not able to solve it yourself.
So it's okay to let the parents know, like, kind of first, of course, I work with the kid because they also have their problems, they're tired sometimes and all that. But it's okay to let parents know ultimately, right? That's what
yeah. Okay. I wouldn't completely outright say like, yeah, your kid is horrible. Like, I don't
No,
want
no,
them in my
no,
class.
that's not, no, I never, as a teachers, we should never do that. That's
Yeah,
completely,
like if
because
you have
they'll,
to sugarcoat it,
yeah,
sugarcoat
they,
it a lot. No parent
right.
wants to hear their child isn't doing well.
Yeah. And is it okay to ask the students, like sometimes they wear the headphones and they
Mhm.
are in a completely noisy room, which
Mhm.
again becomes a disruption in the class
Yeah.
because they don't realize they are wearing noise cancelling headphones, but the classroom is receiving all the noise. So it's okay to ask them to move their location to other room or something, or like some, what are
Yeah.
you? Okay.
I would probably either tell them like, oh, it's kind of noisy in the background. Like, do you want to move to like a different room? Or I'd probably just like tell them like, oh, can we keep you muted for now until like we do another group project? Like normally I assign a project and then they would all work. And then if that girl or guy's background is really loud, I probably just tell them like, oh, can you like mute for now and like later like unmute so we can talk about what we did, blah blah blah.
Oh, but can we mute them? Like,
You can mute them, but I would tell them first, like,
yeah, of
oh,
course.
can
No,
you
like
mute?
I
Yeah.
want to know because like it's always like we try 4 times, but sometimes they are in a complete room where there is noise. So
Mhm. Yeah,
like,
yeah. You can mute
always,
them. There's
yeah.
nothing wrong with muting them. Some kids will probably mute themselves. So
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. Your information has been really helpful.
thank
Because,
you.
yeah, I
Okay.
appreciate it. Was very clear, and especially from Thinkland point of view, what you expect of teachers. So that was very helpful.
Thank you. Any other questions? Our time is almost up, guys. If not, I will be ending our Zoom shortly. I hope you guys, good luck on the evaluation. If you need, just email it to me. I can put you guys on the list. But aside from that, I think we're done. So
Thank
bye.
you again. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you.
Bye.
Bye.